Today we're going to be working with Bo on shed hunting, teaching him to find sheds, Red on tracking, and Jake on Morels. That's what I have planned for today, but we're going to start with Bo on the shed hunting. How I start that is by box feeding. I'm going to show that all that here in just a second, but I start with antler scent, a tin and a cotton ball, put a couple drops on there, put the lid on it. This lid has holes in it. The scent can't escape. Now we're going to put it inside the box and do the box feeding. I'm going to go grab Bo, grab his food, and get going. I got Bo out here. I got his kibble. One thing I didn't mention is I put a little fence up around me to make my area smaller so he can't go anywhere. Now, I've been playing around with this box with these pups since, they started eating kibble, so 6 weeks old. I have the tin. I have his kibble, and we're going to get started. I just put the tin in. When I put it in, he puts his nose on it. I put some kibble in. He's going to consume that kibble. And if his nose, there it was, goes on the thing, I'm going to add more kibble. Now, what the biggest goal when we start this feeding is that his head doesn't come out of the box. That's our main goal right now. Remember, if his head's in that box, he's getting that smell. And he's going to start associating that smell with his food. And these dogs are very, very food motivated. So before he runs completely out, oh, he pulled his head out. So now we're going to wait, puts it back in, add more kibble. Eventually, the only option he'll have to get his daily food is by putting his head in this box, but it's going to really create that love for that smell. I only do this for maybe a week or so. So in next week's video, we will be moved on from the box. But it's very important to start here, get him to love that smell. Remember, I'm adding in there before it completely runs out. I don't want him to pull his head out of the box. So for the next week, we will do 2 sessions a day. I feed twice a day, so all of his food will come out of this box while he is smelling that antler scent before we do move on. All right, I have Red here. We're teaching him to track. I will say that we are further along this. We're actually outside tracking, but I wanted to step back and show you how I got there. So I start by indicating on a washer. I have a washer here, but before I show that, I use a tin. I have food. Put the food in the tin, put it down. When he indicates on it, I pull it away and give him the food. He'll consume all the food on the ground. I want him to, when we first start this, all he has to do is touch it, and I feed. Touch it, and I feed. And we'll gradually ask for more and more on this. So he's still hunting. I'm going to ask for a little bit more this time. There it is. So this is a little confusing for him because after this, I move on to the next step. He indicates on the thing. The next step is just no food, put it down. When he indicates on it, get the behavior I want. Pawing. Oh, he was there. Yes. I mark with yes, and then I feed here out of my pouch. Put it down. I just patiently wait for the behavior I want. And yes. So that's what I really want right there. See him sitting on that and staring at it. Or I'm okay with him standing and staring, but I want that intent focus on the, yes, on the object. I remember we're further along than this, so he's been through all this training. Yes. So this happened pretty quick. You could spend a week on this. But once he's indicating on this, I then move to the washer. Very similar picture. Put it down. Yes. Now, one thing in the field, what we're struggling with a little bit, or in the yard when we're tracking, is him wanting to scratch it. So I put it down. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. So one of the reasons for doing this video is because I needed to bring him back in here anyways to get him to quit pawing at it. No. Yes. So we're going to spend a couple days back in this room. No. Yes. I'm going to give a bigger handful for that one because that was exactly what I wanted. You seen me marking and rewarding for him laying down. We'll take what we can get right now, but eventually what I'd like to see is him just sitting and staring. Yes, right there. Another big handful. We're going to jackpot those behaviors we really like and just give a smaller reward for the ones we don't, that are okay, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. Yes. Yes. All right, that's going to be the last one. We're going to let him consume the rest of his food out of this. So this is how I get him started. I start with a 10 with food under. Once they're understanding that, then I start doing just the 10 and rewarding from my pouch. And then once we do a few sessions on that, then we go to the washer. And I spend some time on the washer because I really want them to love this washer. You'll see how it all comes together as we get into the yard. But eventually this washer is going to be a speck of blood. So it'll all come down to that. But it's just a process that I do, and this is how I start it. Good boy. All right, we're on the last pup of the day, or for this morning anyways, and we're doing Jake on the Morels. I have my Morel, I've rehydrated in water, put it in the tin. Now this is pretty much going to be the same as what we did with Bo on the Antlers. I put the tin in and I feed him. We got Jake, we got the tin with the Morels, and I think he's ready to go. So I drop the tin in first, he sticks his nose in, and I put food in. And remember, the object of these first trainings is for him to hold his head in that box. I just don't pay, and I ignore him if he pulls it out. If he sniffs the Morel, I'm going to add some more, even though there's some in there. He just put his nose on there and sniffed a few times. So if he does that, I'll put more food in, even if there's food in there. Eventually, we'll get down to where we're not adding as much. We'll just throw a couple kibble in each time and where he has to hold his head in. But usually we can get that within a week. So this by next week, we should be back onto the scent tubes. But I will continue this for a week. And if I need to go longer, I will. All right, the last bit of his kibble, I'm going to wait till he consumes most of that. I'm going to pull him out of the box, mark it, and pull him out, and then pull the tin out. When the tin's not in the box, it means the kitchen's closed. All right, he's pretty much consumed it all. Nose on the tin. Yes! Good boy! Yeah! Pull it out. There actually is a couple more pieces in there. We're just going to dump them out and let him eat. Now we got all three of them trained. You know, Bo on the sheds, Red on the tracking, and Jake on Morels. These pups are 17 weeks old. We will be doing a video weekly showing their progress. I'm hoping this is October. I'm hoping by next March, April, they're all three trained on sheds, tracking, and Morels. So follow along and watch how we do this.